Zelenskyy slams US for lack of strength, says Ukraine's sovereignty is not up for bargaining.
Ukrainian president says US is not strong enough as mediator, calls for tougher international stance against Russian demands. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said on Tuesday, June 10th, that he is responsible for leading negotiations with Russia on territorial issues, emphasizing that Ukraine's sovereignty is not something that can be bargained by any intermediary party. Negotiating about territory is my responsibility and Mr. Putin's. I will not discuss my position with anyone else, Zelenskyy stated in an interview with Hungary's Válasz Online. This statement was in response to a question about whether Ukraine is willing to make compromises in ongoing peace talks with Russia. He confirmed that the memorandum Kyiv sent to Moscow during last week's negotiations in Istanbul no longer mentioned Ukraine's 1991 borders. Our memorandum serves as the basis for negotiations. Based on that, our delegation is authorized to discuss humanitarian issues such as war prisoners, kidnapped children, or ceasefire agreements. However, they do not have the authority to negotiate on Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. This is a matter of our constitution, he emphasized. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy once again reaffirmed Ukraine's unwavering stance. Kyiv will not recognize any territories claimed and annexed by Russia as legally belonging to Russia. He added that territorial issues could be resolved through diplomacy, but only if Ukraine receives credible security guarantees. And that is already a major concession, because we still have a long road ahead. We want to end the war, but that requires goodwill from both sides. If the other side isn't ready, they will always find ways to stall, Zelenskyy said. He also revealed that during the most recent round of negotiations in Istanbul, the Russian delegation presented a final ultimatum, which Kyiv could not accept. Zelenskyy called for the participation of strong mediators in future talks to ensure that Russia abides by any agreements reached. Right now, the US is not showing strong mediation. The Russians told them not to be at the table, and they quietly backed away. Why? Because of their soft approach toward Russia, he stated. According to Zelenskyy, a lasting peace will require pressure from the international community, especially from those who truly understand Putin's real objectives. A ceasefire could definitely be achieved sooner, and that's important. But peace will only come when the world fully understands what the Russian president really wants, he added.
Shocking poll: Ukrainians willing to cede territory to Russia in exchange for peace.
A recent survey by the Kyiv International Institute of Sociology, KIIS, revealed that 43% of Ukrainians are willing to accept Russia's de facto control over certain territories without granting formal legal recognition in exchange for strong security guarantees for Ukraine. However, the majority firmly oppose any official recognition of Moscow's control or the transfer of Ukrainian land to Russia, according to a report by Ukraine's Pravda news outlet. If we ask about officially recognizing certain territories as part of Russia, the vast majority, 68% of Ukrainians, are opposed. Only 24% are willing to consider it, KIIS stated. In addition, an overwhelming 78% of respondents rejected any idea of transferring territory currently under Ukrainian control to Russia. Only 15% said they would accept such a move. According to KIIS, the only option where public opinion shows some room for discussion is the idea of accepting Russia's de facto control without legal recognition. Even in this scenario, 43% are in favor, while 48% remain opposed. The KII survey also revealed that if a peace plan includes security guarantees and other key elements essential to Ukraine's future, more than half of Ukrainians could, albeit reluctantly, accept such a scenario to end the war. Any options involving official recognition of Ukrainian territories as part of Russia or the transfer of territories currently not occupied by Russia are strongly rejected. However, Ukrainians demonstrated pragmatic flexibility and a willingness to discuss a compromise involving Russia's de facto control over some regions, without granting official legal recognition. The results also suggest that when Ukrainians talk about territorial concessions, they mainly interpret this as acknowledging Russia's temporary control over certain areas, without formal recognition from Ukraine or the international community. The survey was conducted by KIIS between May 15th and June 3, 2025, using random digit dial phone interviews across all government-controlled regions of Ukraine. A total of 2,004 Ukrainian citizens aged 18 and older participated in the poll,